Yo, what is up guys? DukeOfDC here. Welcome to another video. We are at Moto in Washington, and I'm about to take out the RSV4 RR. This guy's giving me a hard time. Should I just take it from over there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it out.
Okay. Alright, so someone come here and talk about it real quick. One of you. Come on, come on. Come on. Don't matter.
Do you want to get the whole story?
No, Luke will tell us about the bike.
I'm good at this.
So real quick, alright, we're at Moto. This is, what is this, Luke?
This is a 2016 V7 3-stone.
Okay, but this is
Moto
clearly
Guzzi.
not a standard V7.
No, this is essentially been custom cafe racered. Got these shipped in from Italy, a custom paint done by Nico, who works in our service department out here. He custom wrapped the exhaust. Have a lot of Moto gadget on here. You can even get a good shot of this. I'll start it up for you.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So you can cycle through some of the settings for your trip. Really nice piece, and we even have one extra switch in case someone wants to sync some up. Moto gadget.
Moto gadget?
They do really nice digital stuff. Turn signals are LED on this side, so you've got them linked up right here.
Damn.
And right down here.
So this is a real custom ass bike.
And if you hit both of them at the same time, you get your hazards going.
Okay.
The horn is loud.
Super loud.
I mean, all this stuff just got custom put on. The headlight's really nice.
That little oil air filter.
And it's you can get a nice little shot of that if you want. This is all glass on the bottom, so it reflects the base end. So all this is just to the touch.
That is so cool.
It gives a nice, bigger, wider space look.
Okay, so if someone's interested in buying this, what do they do? Where do they go? How much is it?
Come to Moto, Washington, off Wilson Boulevard in Clarendon. It's gonna be $15 starting as the MSRP, and then we have some nice little deals we can work out with people.
Okay, cool. There's the beast, guys. There's the weapon for today. This is it. This is a 2017 Aprilia RSV4 RR. You guys know. There's that new digital tack. Look at this thing is like brand spanking. Let's put these out.
I've liked the TFT display when I've been messing with this thing.
Yeah, that is a really sick feature.
And I mean, everything else is one will do that. I mean, BMW's got one for it. It's even visible in light like this. Like it's great.
Clear as day, yeah.
And me as a fairly new rider, being able to see what the bike's doing and what I'm pushing it to,
right,
compared to just like, oh, maybe it's doing something. You actually see it visually. I feel more confident, more safe on it.
There's so much stuff that I've faffed with. Yo, what is up guys? DukeOfDC here. Welcome to another video, and today I'm taking out this beautiful 2017 Aprilia RSV4 RR. We're in race mode. Okay guys, so before we get started, real quick shout out to Moto, Washington, here in Arlington, Virginia. Piaggio, Vespa, Aprilia, Moto Guzzi dealer in this area. These guys are amazing. Please come check them out. Steph, my boy Luke, the whole team, just really good people, motorcycle people, which is rare these days. I've got this gimbal that I'm trying to fucking pretend I know how to use. Okay, baby. Do we have fuel? My girl had a butt. My booty. All right. We are off. We are off. We are riding. We are racing. We're not racing. We're not racing. In fact, we're going to be extra chicken shitty today. Let's see how the turn radius is on this bitch. That's good. Short shifting, like I do. Don't hit me, please. That would suck. Kind of looks like the bars are off a little bit, but okay. Oh, it sounds so good. That V4, that flapper valve system on the exhaust is still one of my favorite systems on any stock exhaust. Okay, we are recording. This GoPro is still here, shockingly. There's so much that goes into making these videos that you guys don't see. We're gonna ride for a little bit before I start talking about what I like and what I don't like, or even the features that are on this 2017 versus something like a 2016, and that's because I want to get to know it. I have to do a little bit of like preliminary riding to actually be able to make some sort of a, I don't know, justified opinion of this bike and how much I either enjoy it or don't enjoy it. But to be completely honest, I really think that this is going to be a fantastic bike. I've only been on it now for maybe 3 minutes, but I'm already convinced that this is great. I mean, Aprilia knows what they're doing, especially when it comes to the RSV4 and the Tuono and this beautiful V4 engine. Oh, golly. Is that an SLS? Nah, it's just an AMG GTS. Still really nice car, but not what I thought it was. It's actually a really pretty day. It's a little humid. It's probably like 86, 87 degrees. Yeah, not bad. Good day to be out on a bike for sure. I saw a few bikes on the way here, so that's just the sign. That's the clear sign that, yeah, it's decent today. Seemed rather illegal. What the flying fuck? Fuck you. Pull right the fuck out in front of me. Stupid puta bitch. What a piece of shit. Oh, that's a cute little thing. Dude, that's one thing I fucking love. I gotta stop cursing. Dude, that's one thing I really love about riding motorcycles and driving cars that are loud and kind of, you know, a little bit obnoxious, is that you find your brethren so quickly. Like, that guy is just revving his Mustang at me, and I rev back. All right, before people start bitching at me because I'm not gonna ride this thing like 10/10ths, I'm going on the George Washington Parkway. This is like one of the most policed roads in the area, so fuck off with your comments and your hatred of my somewhat safe driving. Quick shifter is butter smooth, even at low RPM, with little power on, which is really nice because usually you gotta wring these things out to get them to work. Yeah, that's plenty powerful. Dear God. That moves. That really, really moves. The torque is so immediate in this bike. I mean, all the V4s I've ever been on from Aprilia, my old 2015 Aprilia Tuono, the new 1100 Aprilia Tuono RF RR, this RR Aprilia RSV4, which is that 998, 996 cc, whatever it is, the sub 1000, but it's the leader bike, right? They're all so smooth, and there's so much fucking torque, and it's just absolutely immediate. Like, there's no buildup of power there. It is just power, and then more power, and then more power. It's absolutely intoxicating. As you can tell, I do love Aprilia. I do. I think that they've built some incredible machines. They do something that a lot of other manufacturers don't have the, I don't want to say bandwidth, but I don't know, the care to do, and it's they listen to their customers, man. This bike is a byproduct of listening to what people want. What a fucking machine. Oh my God. All right, let's take it easy for a second. We're in 6th gear. We're going 60 miles an hour. And I'm not the most uncomfortable that I've been on a super sport bike. I would have to say that that's still served up to the R1, the brand new R1. I rode my boy MD Super Sport Riders, and then my other boy Jogo 101's R1, and those two bikes, they're just not very comfortable. They're very track focused, they're very stiff. It's just not for me, unfortunately. That being said, on the whole different side of the spectrum, there's the BMW S1000 RR and the HP4. I've ridden both of those. I've ridden the older ones, I've ridden the new ones, and that's still to date the most comfortable super sport bike that I've ridden. Now that being said, I haven't ridden a Gixxer, I haven't ridden a ZX10, I haven't ridden a CBR 1000 RR, which is going to be maybe the more comfortable version of a S1000 RR. And then this bike, the Aprilia, kind of falls in between there somewhere. You know, it's very nice. Like, the riding position is not overly aggressive like I felt on the R1, but the suspension and the ride and everything is certainly set up for a sportier, track-oriented rider, or maybe a canyon carver that is really getting after it. And that's what this bike is made for. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just stating a fact. If you're buying this because you want to go touring on it, well, you're buying the wrong bike, and that's a pretty obvious thing to say. But if you're buying this because you want to go rip up the streets, then you're buying a really amazing bike that has a lot of usable power, even down low, so that you can, I don't know, maintain those 30 or 40 mile per hour zones when you're in a city or you're commuting to the place where you want to ride harder. This bike as a track bike would be an absolute weapon. I've never done a track day. I can't speak from experience as to what exactly is necessary to have, but the up and down quick shifter will probably make things a lot more convenient. The brakes are really incredible. They bite really well. There's hardly any fade. The whole system, the lean angle sensor is beautiful. The TFT display as a whole displays all this great information. We're in race mode. We've got traction control set to 6, and then we have ABS, wheelie control, and launch control all set to 3. It looks like an oil temp of 181, which is actually really good. The bike doesn't feel hot at all. That being said, we're moving at speed. We're not sitting in traffic, but I would say at this point on an S1000RR, I'd actually be feeling a fair amount of heat coming from that frame, and it just gets so heat soaked. And that's something that I experienced on my Tuono a lot, and this is a similar frame to the Tuono that I even owned. So I'm interested to see, after maybe an hour-long ride, am I going to be really feeling that heat in my thighs and maybe even my ankles and feet. I'm wearing my Dainese Air Perf jacket, my Dainese, I think these are 4-stroke gloves, a buddy of mine, Vic Maximus, gave me these to use for a while because my old ones are completely destroyed. And I'm wearing my Alpine Star, I think they're MX1s, and then just some normal pants because I'm a total scrub. That sound alone is really something that sells people on these. And the way that they achieve that is on Aprilias, specifically the RSV4 and the Tuono, I believe. There's a flapper system that's in the exhaust before the slip-on, and what it does is at a certain revolution, RPM, and then at a certain degree on the throttle, both of them either happen or they can happen separate from each other, right? Like if I'm really low in the rev range but I juice it, it opens the throttle, or if I'm high in the rev range but I'm not very hard on the throttle, then it's going to have the flapper valve open, which I can do right now. See, that flapper valve is now open and I'm hardly using this throttle. I'm short shifting just because that quick shifter is so smooth and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's one of the most convenient things on motorcycles these days. This bike also has cruise control now, which is awesome. Another byproduct of Aprilia listening to the customer. What do people get on those premium sport bikes nowadays? They get all these creature comforts. So what do people want on Aprilias? They want creature comforts. Boom, Piaggio Group listens, and then within a year they produce this. Awesome. I need to come up with more words. I get so tongue-tied whenever I do reviews on bikes that are just this good. I'm exceptionally pleased with the quality of the ride. Suspension feels really good, and of course this isn't set up for my weight. This is just how it comes from the factory. This is a demo, so you know, a few people have been on it already. They've warmed it up, they've broken it in to some extent. I don't know how many miles it has on it, and I don't really feel like spending the time to look. It's down there somewhere, but I can't find it because I ain't smart. Oh, I love it. I love it. Let's talk about a few dislikes, and there are only a few on this bike, but still, Aprilia has yet to put a fuel gauge on their motorcycles. It's got a fuel light that'll come on, which is, to be honest, it's fine. Just be smart. Reset your trip 1, watch it, fuel light comes on, you can figure that shit out. It's just simple math. But it's one of those things where it's like, with a TFT display, why? Why is there no fuel gauge? I'm not sure that I understand that. Another thing that Aprilia needs to do, I think, is update the fairings and the styling of this bike. It has been the same styling now for quite a long time. It really hasn't changed for, in my opinion, since like 2000, early 2010s, early teens. You know, this has been the same bike for maybe 7 years now. It's changed drastically in terms of engineering and electronics, of course, but there needs to be a little bit more in terms of upgrading the fairings. That's just me nitpicking. I think that a lot of other bikes out there are starting to come out with some ooey gooey designs. Maybe the RF needs more carbon fiber integrated into it, especially at that cost, right? Because shit, I mean, you've got things like the R1M that comes with all this gooey carbon fiber fairings and just shit that I love. Front wheel comes up very easily. The one thing that I need to get used to as a rider in this day and age is trusting electronics, at least to some degree. Now, I'm not saying go full out and, you know, bank everything on them, but this has traction control. It's probably got some sort of lean angle sensors in it that are going to help me when I'm in a corner giving it power and then the wheels start slipping because of one thing or another. But it's very hard for me to trust that still. Like, to this day, that technology is just beyond what I trust. Let's step over here, look at it this way. So yeah, guys, she is a completely gorgeous machine. I mean, this is really something else. For my comparison, I like doing this whenever I'm reviewing a bike that has kind of moderately changed, which I'll say that this has, even though, you know, the TFT display is a pretty big upgrade. It is very much similar to the 2016 RSV4 RR that I took out last year. So if you own a 2016, it would really be the question of, is the up and down quick shifter worth it? And is the TFT worth it? And then is just having the newest bike worth it? Because other than that, I'd say keep your 2016, wait for at least another year or two until they drop, you know, the 2018, 2019, maybe 2020, when they change the fairings up, they make the bike completely new. I think that honestly, I think that this frame is going away soon. I just do. It's a little bit dated. The bike itself, though, it's phenomenal. I mean, there's a reason why moto journalists really love this machine for both riding on the street, commuting, and especially when you take it on the track. I love the integrated turn signals on the mirrors here. I do like the styling. I'm just saying it's kind of getting dated, especially the front of the bike. This rear tail section is still really pretty. I really do like that. Some people will ask, can you get a rear seat for this? I actually think I think you can. This feels like it comes off, but even if you put a seat there, like, that's not a seat. Your ass would still be just obliterated. So I'm not sure. For the Euro 4, so this has the Euro 4 exhaust, which is one of the other changes that was kind of mandatory, right? So it's got a much bigger exhaust system to meet the new regulations. It has clutch case and stator case covers. And that's not for protection, that was for sound, which is a really interesting thing. Now, at the end of the day, it might provide a little bit more protection, but I'm pretty sure those are plastic and not like really high strength plastics. They're just something that Aprilia was able to put on the bike to meet that regulation. So, bing, bada boom, bada bing, bing, boom. Rocket. What? This bike exceeds my abilities to ride tenfold. It really does. I am nowhere near the rider that would be buying something like this to actually use it. I'll be buying that 125, man, that 125cc that they sell in Europe. Then I can learn some shit. Oh, fucking squirrel. The chassis does still feel really, really solid on this. That's coming from a guy who genuinely just doesn't know what he's doing as a rider. That's me. Alright guys, so I'm going to be heading back to Moto, so I am going to cut the video off here. I'll still record if anything interesting happens, or maybe I'll make a second little riding back video. But thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this. This is my review, first ride impressions of the 2017 Aprilia RSV4 RR. Again, really amazing bike, a great super sport bike. It has tons of power, tons of torque, relative comfort when it comes to this type of, you know, crotch rocket machine where you're, you know, bent over on your wrists. I do have a little bit of pain in my lower back, a little bit of pain in my wrist, but it is really something else though when you get after the power. And to be honest, it never ends, and I'm not pushing it. Like most of these bikes that I ride that are demos, I don't push it very hard just because it's not my bike. Not my bike means so much my problem. Oh, you know what's gonna suck is that this light, there's no fucking way it'll turn for me. Let's see if we can manipulate it a little. So this is a trick for all y'all watching this. You put your kickstand down, touch your kickstand to the ground. Theoretically, it's supposed to make the connection there, that electromagnetic connection. Kickstand back up. That's what that light was. Put it in gear, and that's it. I don't know if that actually worked or if it just turned. Short shifting. Let's just leave it in second for the rest of this journey. So yeah guys, thank you again so much for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. I am back in the game of making some videos for the foreseeable future. When it comes to what bike is next, I cannot tell you. You guys know that I'm selling a Super Duke. Don't freak out. Just know that everything is going to be okay. Okay? Just, you know, everything's going to be fine. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.